Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about all of my terrible salon experiences, and I have just made a list on my computer because it's gonna be a while. The first thing is that I've basically always done my own bangs, even since I was like probably around middle school age. I would always just kind of do it the way I wanted because people who cut hair are taught to do it a certain way, and usually that way is to part it down the middle and cut the hair. And I have always parted my hair right here because I have a cowlick right here, so it doesn't do me any good to cut my hair in the middle, since I'm always gonna have it parted that way. I need to have my bangs cut when my hair is parted. So that's kind of just like the first statement, is just a reason have always been wary of salons, is just because I always have to refine the haircut. So now into the list of 5 horror stories, basically. Side note, I don't go to Gold's Gym. This is like my mom's shirt. Don't get it twisted. I don't exercise. So the first time happened in about 2015. It was when I had first gotten my hair shaved really short and cut off, and I had gone in to basically probably just get a haircut, get the top shaped up and get the back shaved, and the woman that saw me told me, I specifically asked her to fade the back, and she said she would not fade the back. I think her actual words were, "That is manly. We're gonna do a straight cut." And I was like, well, I've had a straight cut before and I really want to fade this time. And she was like, no, that's manly. So I just let it go because I have an electric razor at home, and I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to do it myself. Not a big deal. And it was a little annoying because I'm the one getting my hair cut, I'm the one paying, and I've asked you twice and you're telling me no. So at that point I was just like, I'm not gonna argue. I'll just maybe tip a little less. Goodbye. I'll still tip because I get it, but I'll tip a little less. And so that was when I started doing my own back of the head. That was when I learned how to do a fade. I'm actually proud of myself because I did it pretty well. And that's kind of what confused me even more. I was like, it's not even difficult to do, so why wouldn't she just do it? Like, you know, it doesn't matter if it looks manly, it's my back of my head. So fast forward to about August 2016. I have decided at this point, I have a pixie, I'm enjoying it, but this isn't around the time. It's like summer. I've seen a whole lot of pictures of people with like white pixies, and they're beautiful. And so I decide I want to get a white pixie. So I go to a salon, and this is like where my mom gets her hair done. And she's like, okay, your hair's really dark. You're going to be a double process blonde. It's going to take a long time. It's going to burn. It's going to cost a lot of money. And so I was like, okay. I had done a little research at this point, so I knew Tana Mojo bleach and tone. So she bleached it twice. Took about 3 hours. No tone. I asked her, I was like, tone? And she was like, no tone. She washed my hair with purple shampoo, and then she actually sold me a bottle, which I bought just to have, because I knew it would be a good idea to have it. And I think I actually still have it because I had silver hair for a while, so I kept using it. But yeah, so I came home and I had yellow hair, of course, because she did not tone it. She just used purple shampoo with it, which obviously is not as strong as a toner. So I took my little butt down to Sally's hair salon and got me a $7 T18, T14 Wella toner and a little $2 bottle of developer, and I toned my own hair, and it turned out great. And I'll show you like a before and after around here. There's a difference. Like, you'll notice, like, the first haircut looks like, oh, you bleached it, and then the second haircut looks like, oh, it's a platinum pixie. So that was that. So that was in August. 2 months later, in October, I have to go back because now I have blonde hair and like a dark brown black growth line. So I have to go back and do something about it. This time I decide I'm going to get bleached again. I'm going to get my roots touched up, you know, and just like a general bob, because I guess was trying to grow my hair out at this time. So she does the double process. It's burning a lot, but I don't particularly mention it because I know that bleach burns. Like, I know that, so I didn't really mention it. And this was the first time that I had gotten like underneath bleached, because before it was like shaved. And she washed it off, and I remember it feeling like, when the cold water hit me, like Jesus was touching my brain. It felt so good, you guys. And so she was like washing it, and she was just like, so I'm gonna mention to you that you have some chemical burns. And I was like, what? I have some what? She was like, you have some chemical burns. So I actually ended up, from these little hairs right here, I had chemical burns right here, like literally on my sideburns. I had some right here, I had it on the top of my ear, and I remember that I had some like right up here. And I think that was after the second bleach. So I knew she wasn't going to tone it that time because I had chemical burns on my scalp. So she just kind of blow dried it on cold and cut it and everything. And that was fun. Not even the end of that. I forgot about this part. The haircut. Here's the haircut issue. I wanted a blunt bob. I made the mistake of saying more angled when I meant more blunt because it looked more feathery, and I got it cut like halfway up my head. So, fun part. Basically, I was trying to grow out my hair, and she cut like freaking this much off the back of my head. And I'll insert another picture to show you a before and after. Notice how red my face is because I'm having burns on my cheeks. So after that event in October, I decided I was not going to bleach my hair anymore. I had talked to someone at work who had kind of told me, no, for a professional that's kind of unacceptable, that's not supposed to happen, they should have been on top of that. And I decided not to go get it bleached. So I had decided that I'd just do a pastel color and kind of maybe fade out where the regrowth was, because I'd seen a whole bunch of Instagram videos where they could take like a shadow color and fade that and then do like a light pastel color down here. I should have known. So I go to a hair salon in November, and I'm like, I would like a pastel hair color. And the first issue is that the lady doesn't tell me no. What she tells me is I don't have any pastel pink. And I'm like, okay, I would accept like a silver or purple, and or like, you know, just like a pastel, silver, purple, or pink, something like that. And she was like, well, I don't have any pastel colors. I only have full strength colors. And at this point I was like, so I asked her if she could mix in a conditioner, and she said no. In salons we have sort of like a gel that we use to mix in. And so I was like, okay, can we do that? And she was like, no, I have a better idea. And I said okay because I thought she had a better idea. Actually, what her better idea was that she was gonna put straight up purple on my head and let me leave like that. That was her idea. I have no words for that experience. It's just literally what happened happened. I actually have made a video on this when it happened, just because I had no words. Like, there was no communication issue. I wanted pastel purple, and she dyed my hair grape purple, like straight up rich purple. And I had to spend the rest of the day like that. Like, people looked at me everywhere I went, and it wasn't like a pretty pastel purple good look. It was like, why does your hair look like a plastic purple wig? Because it was bad. So what I looked like was this. I washed it about, and this lady had the nerve to tell me, now don't go home and wash it 5 times to take some of the color out. I'm like, well, what do you expect me to do? Because you put too much color in. So I went home and washed it 5 times with like Pert to try to get as much color out as I could. And it looks a lot better. So that day I got it to this color. So probably the last disaster that happened was just the fact that I didn't get my hair cut for a really long time after that. And when I finally got it colored, the person who did it correctly then died. So basically, before last week, I hadn't got my hair cut in about a year, just because I didn't feel like I could trust anybody to cut it or color it or anything. And I think I have a fair amount of proof to back that up. So don't forget to like and subscribe down below, just for random stories and guinea pigs, and maybe eventually makeup again. Just not really in the makeup kind of mood recently, but school is starting soon, and maybe there'll be somebody cute there or something. I don't really know.